Hi, I'm Sarah Noble, your host for the Modern Day Intuitive Podcast. For over 25 years, I've been on a spiritual journey, searching, learning, expanding, and growing. I've traveled the world, led by my heart, on a quest to know myself so that I can support others. This podcast was created from my deep desire to help you connect with your intuition and to inspire you to create a life where the impossible becomes possible and you live into your sacred dreams and desires. Thanks for being here and enjoy the show. Hello, my loves. So our topic for magical moments today is time management versus energy management. And this topic makes me get all excited and giddy inside because I have lived this shift as my life, as an experiment, and began life in such a place of needing to control and plan and have everything really fit neatly into a calendar that I could manage and control. And then when it didn't go my way, I could get really upset about and make all kinds of meaning out of it and kind of live inside this box, right, of time that it was so structured and so real. And then it also allowed me to express unconscious patterns and do all kinds of interesting things inside of this idea of time management. And my moon and my sun are Capricorn. So I have that architecture working as well. However, my rising moon is Cancer. So there's that water, that flow, that healing that also is available. Yet, because I was so rigidly into the structures of my life, I really resonated and connected more with the Capricorn, the earth, the real sort of heavy structure that comes with that, and not making that bad or wrong or anything like that, but just observing who I was inside of my conditioning. And time management, right? There was never enough time. I was always late, but not really. Like I was always early, actually, if the truth be told, because I was so terrified of being late. But in my head, I was late, and it's making me think of that saying that I worked in this job, and they would say, early is on time and on time is late. And that was like how I lived inside me, that it was like panic if I was going to be late, panic if I couldn't fit everything into my schedule just so perfectly. And I lived inside the prison of time. And as I've evolved, as I've expanded, I can see where time is so illusionary. We talk about that here on the podcast, and how linear time is a construct of our physical reality, this, reality model that we live inside of here on Earth. And yet, time is really subjective. It's cyclical. It spirals. It works in ways that are beyond the understanding of our mind. And in truth, the only moment that is real is this now moment, the one that we are inside of here together in this moment, having this conversation. Nothing else exists. Yes, we need time on our planet, right? Our kids need to get to school on time. We need to show up at work on time. We want to be considerate of other people and arrive at our appointments when they're scheduled. So I'm not advocating for time as not needing time. What I'm advocating for is us having a different relationship with time. And this is where the energy management comes in. And when I say energy management, it's the idea that we are energetic beings, and everything in our life is an extension of our energy. It's an extension of the coherence that exists inside us and the way that we extend that out into the world. And when we are in a discombobulated state of our energy, where it's leaking everywhere, it's broken into all sorts of stories and beliefs and family line trauma and drama, we are not very coherent because we are just stretched out all horizontally. Our energy is going everywhere. And we have no power source. We have no way to manage the brokenness. And I use brokenness lightly because none of us are broken, but there is an actual sensation of energy where it breaks and it changes and it shifts and it's not in coherence. And so energy medicine practices allow the structure of the energy to merge back in with your energy field. So please don't think I am saying you are broken. That is not the intention. It's more that the energetic structure is not in alignment. It's not in the place that it needs to be in order for your system, your energetic system and your physical system to operate at its top capacity. So as you uncover the places that you go unconscious, as you tune into your wounding, as you look at your patterns, your beliefs, the things that make up your reality, all of that has an energetic component. And when you tap into that, and when you start to navigate yourself as a whole being, and you really start to turn towards the stories, the beliefs, the parts of you that just sort of run on autopilot, when you become really conscious of those things and you do this deep soul work, deep shadow work, really connect with yourself as a being, as a whole being, you begin to untangle all the places that your energy is just muddled out in the world with everybody else. And you begin to have energetic hygiene practices that bring you back into wholeness, into your body, into the truth of you, right? The wholeness is the truth. And when you have an active practice of monitoring where your energy is just leaking or being triggered and flying out into the world without your ability to regulate it, you begin to manage your energy in a way that is really supportive to you in your journey. And so what this might look like is having an argument with your partner. They say something, you get really triggered by it. It's an unconscious program that gets activated, and you start saying the same story that your mother used to say to your dad, or you heard as a kid from your grandma, or whatever the place is that pattern got put in place, and you made it mean something, and then you are now reenacting it in your own life because it is held in your energetic, mental, emotional fields. So as you are caught in the pattern, caught in the drama, and your words are flying out across the room at your partner, you are also caught in an energetic pattern and tangle with that person. And all of a sudden, your energy is dispersed and it's no longer serving you, supporting you, being part of you. So getting really clear on where those energetic leaks are can be super helpful, because then you can go in there and untangle them and bring them back. Now, how this all plays into energy management versus time management is a lot of our patterning around time comes from those beliefs, from those stories about how we're not good enough, how we're not showing up, doing enough, how if we do these things, then we can be loved. If we people please, then we will be liked, we will belong, we will have a purpose if we're here just over serving everyone else. That's the idea, right? Like all those places where you are stretching outside of yourself, giving your power away in order to fit into a constraint of time, of I have to go to work and I have to do all these things for my kids and I need to take care of all these chores and the dishes and the laundry and everything that eats up your time and then makes you feel frantic. That you're always rushing from one thing to the next, that the purpose is to obtain more things, get more money, pay more bills, and then maybe I can feel a little more relaxed, I can feel more safe, I can feel like everything's going to be okay. And we all know that that story leads nowhere. All it leads to is more of what we're doing. So when you begin to see your relationship with time and doing as a function of your unhealed wounding and the stories and beliefs that have become a pattern for you that you are engaged with, you can step back and have a little bit more clarity, a little bit more distance, maybe a little bit more of that place of witnessing what is happening rather than being fully absorbed by it. And from that place, you learn to manage your energy. And what this does is it changes your relationship with time. You are the creator of your life. And that means your whole entire life. Every single thing in your life comes from you. There's nothing that you see outside of you that isn't of your making and creating in some way. So much of it is unconscious. Those old programs and patterns are playing out in the background, and they are reaching out into your future from the past and creating the reality you are seeing and walking forward into. So by really harnessing all of yourself energetically, emotionally, mentally, physically, and bringing into a state of coherence, a state of love, a state of being right inside you, you shift everything. Every relationship in your life will change, especially the one with time. Time loves you. What if this was your truth? What if when you got up in the morning, the first thing you thought of was that time loves you and today is going to be the best day of your life? How would your day unfold differently? Because most of us wake up thinking we're already late, and we immediately lean into the giant to-do list that we have to do. And I would ask you to pause and look at what motivates that to-do list and who are you being when you think of that to-do list? Because the person I want to be is the one that creates time, that creates more love, that creates more joy, more ease, more alignment in my life. So I have to be that in order to experience that in my life. There is no amount of doing that is going to make me feel differently. I can get caught in the lie and the pretense that it might, and I can keep showing up, striving to do more in order to feel differently. But my whole life has shown me that that doesn't work. That the real thing that works is me being different. And then when I am being different, everything outside of me is different. And I live in a different world. I live in a different reality, and I exist differently, inside and out. So, my loves, what medicine can you make? What places can you shift from managing your time to allowing time to love you? What changes can you make in your energetic patterns that become more a function of your being rather than a function of your doing? What is the life that you came here to live that requires you to be the truth of you? Not the truth of somebody else and not the truth of your stories and your conditioning, but the truth of your soul, the real reason that you are here on earth in a body today in this moment. I love you so much. Namaste. Thank you for being here today and making your personal and spiritual growth a priority in your life. To learn more about connecting with your dreams and your intuition so that you can create a life full of possibilities, visit me at www.sarahnoble.com and see how we can create magic together. A big thank you from my heart to yours for making the planet a better place for us all.